Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome. Nice to see you. Also, welcome whoever's following this. So, I think, as always, I just give an introduction on what we talk about here, and then anyone is welcome to say something or just have a question. And if no one can come up with something, that's also fine. You can just sit here silently and whatever. There is nothing on offer here. So what happens, what seems to be happening is all there is. And it's in a sense that it's naturally whole and complete. There isn't anything to gain. There isn't more than what seems to be happening. And usually that's the idea of the seeker, that there is something to get here, that there is something to get from life, that there is more than what seems to be happening, that there is some kind of value, something that can be found in the end, something that can be found in order to gain a good feeling, to have a fulfilled experience. What the person is basically looking for is to arrive, to have this feeling of, now I can just be without seeking. Now I know it's all good. Now I can rest. That's what the seeker is looking for. And in the personal experience, this seems to happen again and again. That's what creates this hope that maybe one day it'll be like that always. One day it'll stay like that, that I have become someone who has arrived, really arrived, someone who really doesn't seek anymore, someone who really doesn't need to doubt anymore. However, this will not happen, and that's not what this meeting is about. Usually these kind of meetings where someone sits at front and other people are listening, they are in order to bring about this experience. But that's not happening here. Of course, that's what the person is looking for, but that's not what this is about. In that sense, this is not about anything, or it's exactly not about this. I mean, this would be the only thing the person is interested in anyway, to gain something from this, to gain something from being here. However, what we talk about here is that this whole dynamic, I am someone, this is real, and I have to gain something, I have to come to this experience of having arrived, that this whole dynamic isn't real. And in that sense, it's the only illusion. And this one and only illusion starts with the experience of I am. I am someone. All the rest just comes out of it. All the stories, hopes, dreams, beliefs, all those experiences that follow. I'm on a path, I have arrived, I'm unhappy, I'm happy. All those are just symptoms of this one experience of I am in the first place. So this I isn't real. There is no one here. This experience to be something, a presence, an awareness, a soul, some kind of me. This experience doesn't have any substance at all. That's why there will never be a solution within this experience. The person is looking for a solution within this experience, but there never is one. It always seems to be temporary, if at all. So there's no escape for the person. There is no one who will ever arrive. There is no one who will ever achieve this state of having arrived, or fulfillment, or enlightenment, or liberation, or self. I forgot the word. Self-realization, or however they call it.
Self-actualization.
No, I meant realization, but self-something, actualization. Just put in the word you like. Self-something. So this me is an illusion. That's why no one ever gains something. That's kind of the apparently bad part about this. The good part is that this doesn't need anything. What happens doesn't need anyone to see through it. It doesn't need anyone to become fulfilled in order to be whole and complete. It's naturally whole and complete. There's nothing missing. There is nothing missing on this deep personal level, so to speak, that the person is assuming. It's fine. Everything in that sense is just fine. All the thoughts, all the feelings, all that seems to be happening is just naturally whole and complete. It doesn't need anything. It's unconditional. Us sitting here in this room, the totality of us sitting here in this room or at the screen at home is naturally whole and complete. It doesn't say, but I should be like this or like this. It's free to be this. It just can apparently be this for no reason, not because it has to be this, not because it serves a purpose, not because it has to fulfill someone or give someone something. So in that sense, that's the natural reality. This empty appearance, that's everything. That's total, that's full on. And at the same time, it doesn't offer anything. It just doesn't. No matter if sometimes it feels as if it does, no matter if there's the hope that it does offer something, it just doesn't. It never did. That's why the seeker in the end never moved 1 inch away from being a seeker. Because it never worked out. The seeking never worked out. And all those experiences of, finally I can rest, they were just part of that same illusion, part of that experience of, I do something, I rest again. I do something, I rest again. They're just 2 sides of the same coin. And this coin is I am. So this is it. It's whole and complete. It doesn't offer anything. It doesn't have to. It's just completely fine being this. Well, fine. Doesn't know that it's fine. That's why it's fine. It doesn't ask even. Am I okay to appear as this room in Amsterdam, being those people, having those feelings? Is this really okay? Am I allowed to be this? No, there's no question. No one asks. This doesn't ask for anything. Apparently, it just is there. Regardless of anyone's ideas and beliefs and hopes and dreams and desires.
Andreas, can I say a few things to you, please?
A few things, yeah.
Your introduction was perfect.
Thank you.
I genuinely find it devastating, especially at the start when you talk about no one will gain anything. Because that's what's been coming up. I called you on Thursday.
I was trying to make up for it.
In what way?
Saying that nothing is needed also.
I didn't hear that bit. I only heard the bad news. Filtered out any good news.
That's when you're instantly yeah.
Because that's what's been coming up for me this week. I called you on Thursday and I said that I'd had a glimpse on Wednesday, and when I came back it was immediately obvious there's no possibility to gain anything because there's no one there. to ever have anything, and there's nothing to ever be had. But what I loved about it, whilst it was perfect, is because this is refreshing that it's just total honesty. I know you say that there's no truth in all that, but it just feels so relieving and beautiful to just sit and hear complete honesty, or just not be given any promise, any.
Yeah. It's not because it's the truth in that sense, but there's just nothing there. Yeah.
Like when I was in Vienna with Jim a couple of weeks ago, I said to him, wholeness can be merciless. He goes, wholeness is merciless.
Yes.
And this apparent message, I know it's not a message, is completely merciless. It doesn't give a fuck how anyone feels, or if anyone likes it, or if anyone's happy, or if anyone's pleased, or if anyone's devastated, or if anyone's hopeless, or whatever. It just is what it is.
It is what it is, exactly. It's unconditional and uncompromising in that sense. And not this message or something.
Yeah.
Us sitting together here in this room is uncompromisingly exactly what it is.
It's fucking beautiful. Not sitting in a room, that's all right.
That's that's the mercilessness.
Hearing this is just stunning. It's absolutely fucking gorgeous. And if no one's, well, I can't talk about anyone else in this room, so if I talk about me, it's just not the person's intention to end up here, is it?
No.
Because Tony said to me on the phone, if you thought you could enjoy your life, you wouldn't be talking to me now, you'd be off trying to enjoy your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, if there wouldn't be anything better, if there would be anything more promising, of course you would go there. Yeah, of course.
It's the last place you want to be, but it's just the most stunning.
Yeah, sitting in a room with Andreas is the last place. Thank you. No one is here because they want to. It's plan B. Plan A was to do something fun and enjoy it.
Here we are.
And to go somewhere where you can really gain something.
Well, even when I was walking here, I was looking at everyone in the park, and everyone I passed at least was smiling and happy because it's the sun and there's a beautiful park. And I thought, I would hate to be walking around there. I'd rather sit in here and be told that there's no hope. I thought, how can they be hopeful? I was looking at them smiling, thinking, how can they look so hopeful? But that's also wholeness appearing as that.
Yeah.
Sometimes in spirituality, let's say, they say don't have preferences, but that's more to the person. Don't have preferences, like a.
Yes, if you can do that, yeah. As if that's a state that you could achieve. I mean, the funny thing is when the person collapses or when this illusion collapses, there are no real preferences anymore. But in a personal teaching, the idea is, okay, so how can I get rid of preferences for me to be free from it? And that's just it doesn't really work like that.
So for the person, it's a bond to be free from preferences. One day I will be free from preferences.
Exactly. Because of course what the person notices kind of is that it suffers from having preferences. I mean, it suffers if I want this, but this is happening. This makes me suffer. So how can I become free? Maybe because maybe when I can get rid of the preferences. But it can't really see that itself is the cause for having those preferences. Itself is the cause for saying yes to this and no to this. Yeah. And again, it's all for me. If I could be without that, maybe I could rest and be happy. In a way, one could say the person is suffering from the symptoms that itself created and then wants to be free from them.
But seeing that these preferences are the problem, let's say, that's quite common. You don't need spirituality for that, let's say.
Yeah, and that's all. In another way, we don't have to limit it to spirituality. It's just the personal experience. Yeah, it's quite common in daily life. I shouldn't think like that. I shouldn't feel like that. If I would be able to let go of that, if I would be able to let go of my ex, I'd be free.
I guess there's still preferences seem to be happening. Nobody has them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's not this preference in terms of that I think it should be like that and not like that. So preferences is a bit superficial, but the person basically would say, if I would have this feeling right now, I'd be much better off than if I would feel like that. For the person, it's a bit more existential than just, I prefer pasta over rice or something. So
Still happens.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Exactly. So it's not those preferences.
It's the energy within the preferences.
Exactly.
The grasping of it.
Exactly. The hope if I would be really like that, or if it would be really like that, I'd be more fulfilled. And then usually the person ends up being like that, trying to get rid of liking pasta more than rice, which is just what happens. No, it's just that this me is illusory. And this basic underlying energy of it shouldn't be like this, but it should be like this. And there are a lot of teachings. I don't know so much about Buddhism, but I think that's a big thing in Buddhism, that you should get rid of what you wish for, that you should get rid of wishes or wanting something. But always someone who could achieve that state, which in itself is already wanting something. So it's a contradiction in itself.
I want nothing.
Yes. I want to not want anything anymore. But on the other hand, when this illusion collapses, no one wants anything in terms of this will give me something to be fulfilled. Of course, I don't want anything in that sense.
But wanting still seems to happen.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, they don't serve me to become fulfilled. So, but yeah.
It's centerless.
Yes.
Andreas, I saw a video of Tony where he said the seeker's constantly being bombarded by what it longs for, through all five senses and the sixth sense of emotion. So he's saying that obviously everything is love. And the seeker is so in this narrow world of conditions needing to be met. I suppose that's what you've just been saying anyway. In order, to think that this is love and this isn't, and it's just bollocks. It's just absolute bollocks.
Yeah.
Wherever you look, whatever happens to you,
Yeah.
there's only love.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
such a rigid. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. Oh no, it's just part of a dream.
It's complete bullshit. There's nothing but love.
Yeah. This division into okay, not okay. This division into acceptable, not acceptable. It's purely trend.
Yeah, there was a word you kept using to me on the phone when we were talking on Wednesday. You said there were no no-goes.
Exactly.
There's no no-goes. It doesn't matter what happens, and if you like it or not, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
It's so rigid living in conditions. It's such an apparent constraint.
Yeah, but only for oneself.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
Yeah,
not to wholeness.
Yeah. Yeah.
If everything is love, there's no value at all.
Exactly. If everything is love, then it doesn't mean anything. Yes. Yeah. Meaningless, unconditional love.
How come it does also feel threatening, this kind of talking?
Well, in the end, I don't know, because I don't think that it has to feel threatening. But somehow there just seems to be this fear of absence in the personal reality. But I don't really why. It just seems to be like that.
Yeah. It's also like a few days before this meeting, I was I'm excited. And then this day, it came close and I was like,
No, nice.
Yeah. So some part of me just wants to run away as fast as possible.
Yeah, because energetically, it's not a promise, but energetically, you could just die here. And that's definitely not the plan in the personal experience. It just isn't. The person wants to be there, to go on, be someone, to hope. It's so natural for the person. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing is gained.
Nothing is gained. No.
Also, like 2 weeks ago, I don't know how to describe it, but it felt so. A few days felt really, I could say, fluid or something.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards, I thought, oh, that was really nice. But I'm not sure. Yeah.
Mm.
Because and it also feels like there's a distinction between feeling contracted and like or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even say what was the difference. Or maybe I had too much coffee and sugar.
I know this one, yeah. But it doesn't make a difference in terms of this is giving me more than this. Which would be the only difference again that the person is looking for. When I feel like this gives me more. This is better. And if I feel like this somehow steals fulfillment or something.
Yeah, only the person makes distinction in a way.
In that sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks at things and then judges. Good for me, bad for me. This is how I want to be. Very good. I don't want to be like that.
I hate myself. Oh my God.
So the person brings all those things, let's say emotions and thoughts, it brings it back to the person, into a personal.
Only, yeah, exactly.
That's the work for the person.
Yeah, it's translating everything into its reality. Everything seems to become personal. Oh. It seems to happen through me or for me.
How come then? Maybe the same question again. Like during the week, it doesn't feel that threatening, but sitting here feels more threatening in a way. Like there's no answer to that.
And not really. Maybe that's just what seems to be happening. But of course, probably during the week you are just busy.
Yeah.
Being yourself and having your tasks.
Or being distracted or something.
Kind of. Yeah.
So how does the person collapse?
Well, that's a good question. Not that all the other ones were, but, well, it doesn't really collapse. It's an illusion. That's the funny thing about it. Somehow, but I can't put the finger on it. Somehow it becomes obvious that it was never real. Somehow there's a melting away of this personal energy, but for no real reason.
But it's also not really collapsing then.
No, it's not really collapsing.
I was just thinking.
At least the collapse isn't something that will really happen to you. Let's say there is an apparent collapse.
Yeah.
But it's not an experience that happens to someone.
But you cannot miss it also.
Miss it?
Yeah. When such a collapse
No.
takes place.
No. Well, it's not about the collapse anyway, but there just won't be any seeking anymore.
Seeking collapse with it.
Yeah, exactly. And that would become absolutely natural then and undeniable. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
I think the weird thing is that there is never an instant that there's so much talk about the bee than here.
Yeah.
We all over the place. It's really weird.
Yeah.
As if it exists.
I know, but I doubt this a little bit, because if you go on a party or anywhere else you go, everyone talks about themselves and their story. It's full of me. The me brings itself on the plate everywhere it is.
Yes, but not as an object.
Yeah,
Or
not
as a
a, I
subject,
know.
Talking out of the me, but here it's on the table all the time.
I know,
Yeah.
it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we bring it on the table
Yeah.
in order to expose it as what it is, an illusion.
Yeah.
Exactly. In all the other circumstances, people are so stuck in actually being the me that they don't even notice.
No, they don't mention it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They mention it all the time.
Yeah, me, but not the me.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like some sort of monster, the me.
Yes, exactly. That's what the me hears in this context. Finally, we found the real problem.
Yeah.
And of course, again, it personalizes this meeting, thinks it's about finding a problem in order to get rid of it.
Yeah. There we go again.
So it's gonna take a
little longer then.
So here we found the actual problem, and we are talking about it in order to get rid of it.
Yeah.
No, there is no one.
Andreas, you know when you just use the term melting away,
Mhm.
I just thought, like, I don't know if it's the same for everyone here, but the me can have such this idea, like I do, that there needs to be a process of lessening, and there just isn't a need for any process at all.
There is no real process.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you listen to different stories, there's people who seem to come and go and come and go, and it softens over years, and then maybe collapses finally.
Yeah, the
And then
thing
there's
is,
people where sorry, go on.
the thing is that all those things aren't a process. They just are what seems to be happening. It would only seem like a process for the person.
Yeah. Once when there's no longer the sense of a person, that stuff wasn't a process.
Exactly. It
It
wasn't a
led
process.
towards.
It was just timeless wholeness all the time.
It wasn't leading somewhere to.
And there was no one inner process. Yeah.
I don't know what to say to that.
Mhm.
There's no one in a process.
Is process like a construct of the mind in a way?
Yeah. Well, I think for the person it feels like that. I'm here, something is happening. So life is regarded as a process. As if there's really something going on, moving somewhere towards something greater in the end. I mean, that's the hope, that it's a process towards something better and not a process that goes downwards.
The strange thing is when you say that, I have to really try hard to create a process.
Yeah, because it's not there. Yeah. Well, that's how it seems to feel.
Yeah.
I'm going through situations. I'm going through my life, but it's a dream. Yeah.
Yes. Where comes the sensitivity from? From the person that there's something is not real here. I'm living from the delusion that is of me. There's also a sensitivity that okay, it's not.
Something is not quite. Yeah.
Is that also from the person? Or is that where's that coming from?
No, it's what seems to be happening.
Okay.
It's never really the person that is open. It's just what seems to be happening over there for no real reason.
So the sensitivity is exactly the same as the first.
So,
I mean, that's coming up. It's that's the apparent.
it's what's exactly. It's what seems to be happening. That's it, and it's total, and whole, and complete, and meaningless. So it's also not something that will lead the person somewhere. Yeah. Yes.
I'm just thinking to myself, this is the first time I've ever looked at you and just seen you as normal. You still a gorgeous expression of wholeness, don't get me wrong. But no more than anyone else in this room. Or anything else in this room.
Thank you.
Not special at all, Andreas. I know you told me that from day one, but it's taken a few years.
It takes a while to look through this gorgeous facade.
Yeah, it's hard to see it past all the gorgeousness.
Yeah.
That's the issue we've all got to deal with, really, in this scenario. But the thing is, I was literally just looking at you and you were talking to someone, and it's the first time the whole projection just fell off. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh fuck, it's not even coming from him.
No, yeah.
He's normal.
Well, in the end, I'm not even normal. But
No.
yeah.
Well, that's true. That's what I like about you.
Oh yes, there is no one.
And to think, oh, there's something special about this character. That character is as that character is, and it's apparently every character is unique.
Absolutely, either everything's special or nothing.
Well, I'd say every.
But there is no hierarchy
I was gonna say-
in specialness. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Every character is unique, but
Yeah,
without value.
yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, even these meetings don't have value, really, do they? In the end,
No,
it's just another hope.
yeah, it's a hope that there is something special where one can gain something from. I mean, that's the only thing what makes things seem special for the person.
And I think,
Oh, I can gain something from that. Oh, that's special.
I think a
That's
large,
meaningful.
I think a large part of what the person finds special is what it's attracted to. So if I'm attracted to this has to be special. But if I'm attracted to doing something else, that's special because I'm special.
Well, on the one hand, because you are special anyway, but also because if I'm attracted to this means it will give me something. There can't just be an attraction for no reason in the personal world. It's always connected to this means I have to follow this because this will give me something.
And it promises more than everything else.
Exactly.
So when attraction to something happens there, it's just what happens.
Oh, absolutely.
Not any meaning about it, not any.
Oh, it doesn't
giving
mean
more or
anything.
less.
It's just life happening. Cinema or concert? Oh, cinema. What happens? For no reason.
Do you ever pick concert?
Hmm?
Do you ever pick concert?
No, actually.
No. Just wondering.
Yeah, I do on YouTube.
In a way, I'm quite sure that something is happening during a meeting.
Hmm.
Some magic or something.
Yeah, but probably you're thinking also during the week that something's happening. So that's not really different.
I don't feel different. Yeah.
Well, it's apparently different. It's just not happening to you.
Yeah.
Mm. And I understand that it can seem special because usually it's not really pointed out that there is no one. So
Yeah. Also, afterwards, I really can't explain how it was. I
yeah,
would say, yeah, great. Why? I don't
yeah,
know.
great.
Was it great? No, it wasn't.
No one knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't put your finger on it or something. Yeah.
Yeah. In that sense, I never know how it is or how it was.
Yeah,
No.
I find it lately also harder to, if somebody says, how was your weekend? I don't know,
Yeah.
neutral?
Yeah, but it also wasn't neutral.
No.
No, it was there even a weekend?
What do you usually say? Good.
Good, yeah. Good works.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. If I really have no idea, I say very good.
When somebody asks you, you should just say you have to go to Andreas, there's a lot to gain.
Yeah, exactly. Very special.
But you often say lovely, that's got some
Lovely.
fitting quality about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Not fine, but it does.
Yeah, lovely. It's a bit more.
Yeah. It's still nothing, but it's a shinier nothing.
Yeah, yeah. There's something sweet about it.
Yeah,
Like,
Or it's just a response, maybe. Like birds, like crows, like. I will see you also.
yeah, just in human language. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Mm. It's the total and meaningless rip.
So feeling really contracted is total freedom.
Yes. Just for no one.
You said to me a couple of times, it's us who create the message, like the people who want to hear it, who turn up.
Ah, yeah.
You know,
Okay.
you said the thing from the Bible about asking unto you will be given or whatever it was. You said it because there's an asking, we come together to ask. There's an openness when we come together to ask us to hear this, and that's where it comes from. It's never anyone wanting to say something.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense now sitting here. Just, I don't know. It feels to me like there's such an openness in the room to hear this, and that's where it comes from.
Yeah, there's a demand, and then yeah. That's not personal.
No. It's just what happens.
Yeah.
It seems to be really close.
What?
Now we talk about the me and all sort of things, but it's everything. So it's here. It's already here.
It is this. Yeah, including us talking about the me and what it's apparently doing or not doing. All those things don't exist. It's this. Yeah. There isn't anything else than what seems to be happening. So it's this.
It's very funny because the person is looking for something. How does something look what does not exist?
Yeah.
The person is looking for it.
Exactly. I mean, in the personal experience, it's already kind of sitting in this room, apparently, and living in this abstract reality which is personal. I'm on a path and I'll be there and this will be great. Oh, when my knee collapses and all of that. Yeah. And it has nothing to do with this, except that it is what seems to be happening. So the world that the me lives in just never exists. This personal world, I'm on a path, there is liberation, there is a real me, we talk about it here. No.
So it turns everything in a not, in the world that does not exist, let's say.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the world of experience and reality and separation.
So experiencing that means that turning, making something existing what does not exist.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So it's actually natural that it doesn't feel right. It's constantly operating in a world that's not real. Constantly dreaming about when I will be fulfilled, but there is no one, and there will never ever be anyone who is fulfilled. It's just dreaming about it.
You say non-experience is the same as nothing, or there can also be there can be some sensations.
Well, sensations, you mean feelings or emotions? Yeah, those are nothing. That's the thing. Nothing is an experience. It would only be the person which turns things into experiences. So the person would say, a feeling is an experience to me. A thought is an experience to me. And of course, many people I think that's a big misunderstanding when I say that there are no experiences. Most people think, okay, so there shouldn't be feelings or thoughts. But that's not really how it's meant. The experiencer and the separation from thoughts and feelings, that's dreamt. So, seen from the experiencer, this situation, or us sitting together in this room, would seem like a personal experience. I'm here and I'm experiencing a real room and I'm experiencing my feelings. And the thing is that this is not an experience for someone. It's a natural reality, which is not an experience. That's why this doesn't have to go away. Well, nothing has to go away anyway, but it's not about making this go away when I say that there is no experience. This already isn't an experience. It's just the dream of the person that it is.
Andreas, I was just sitting there and a lot of emotions were coming up in my whole body, and it was so strong, I was feeling like overwhelmed. And I was thinking, you said like when there's no, being overwhelmed can only happen for a person.
This impression to be overwhelmed. Yeah.
Is that because when there's no one there, everything's neutral?
No, then there is no one there to be overwhelmed.
Ah. I thought I got overwhelmed because things have value. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
For the person, everything isn't neutral. It's good or bad, isn't it?
Yeah,
And so
but people can also feel overwhelmed by good things.
That's what was happening, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm.
I suppose, yeah, you could, well, it could be the same level of intensity of feeling in that body. As
Absolutely.
Or probably
yeah.
more. Who knows? Well, you told me in every day, you feel every emotion.
Well, but I guess so. Yeah.
So it could be.
That would be a normal alive day.
And it could be intense for 5 minutes or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But there's just no one to be overwhelmed.
There's just no one there. Yeah. No one living this parallel existence. Yeah. Of course. 5 minutes joy, 5 minutes, a little bit of frustration from the computer not working properly. Whatever. I mean, in the end, this whole idea of intensity also drops, because I think for the person, intensity is very connected to this idea of being overwhelmed.
Mm.
But yeah, there can be feelings, and for a while, the body can do nothing else than just feel those. That's what the person would regard as, oh, that's intensive.
You said obviously like the person.
I can't be cool anymore.
Yeah, composed. Like you said, the person has an acceptable range of experience. So it doesn't want things to be too much. It doesn't want too much going on that it can't handle it. And it doesn't want too little going on that it's bored by it.
Yeah.
Because both feel like the possibility of death, I imagine.
Exactly.
You didn't say that, I'm just asking it because...
Oh yeah, the me is afraid of being bored to death or to be killed by the intense too much going on. Yeah.
So it wants to...
That's the acceptable range. If it feels like this, I can still be there, rather relaxed. That's what I can experience. Yeah. And everything outside is no-go.
And that's the detachment. It doesn't want to feel too much or too little, so...
It would kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there would be really nothing going on. And I would just stand alone in emptiness. This might kill me or be unbearable, which is the fear of death. And if it's too much, I'm also maybe not able to stand it. And it will overwhelm and kill me. That's how it feels, yeah. One's own emotions.
You brought me back into
They
my
could kill me.
You brought me back into my acceptable range now, Andreas. I feel relaxed now.
Gorgeous. That's what I wanted.
Thank you.
Yeah, this me is dreamt. No one can be killed. There is no one.
So So the fear for death, let's say, to fear the death is only that this process could stop. That means in this English process,
Mm-hmm.
and it could. That's the fear that it could stop.
Yeah. Before ending one's mission to become fulfilled. Yeah. As if that's the biggest no-go. No. That it could just stop now without having found anything, without having arrived, without gaining anything at all. That's really. So it's only an attractive idea to lose the me out of hope. For the person that's only attractive, connected to this idea of hope, then it'll be good. But very directly, it doesn't want to stop. It loves to go on being a me and having a break afterwards, and the second part this afternoon, and maybe tomorrow, or a lovely dinner tonight. Why would it choose to stop being now? There's absolutely no reason for this. Again, only out of suffering and the hope that it's better than when it dropped. But it has absolutely no interest to just collapse for no reason at all. The person would always say, well, I can collapse tomorrow also. Let's see what happens until then.
Thinks it has time. The person thinks it can happen tomorrow.
Exactly.
This is the process.
Yeah. That's actually a funny quote I just read recently from Buddhism. I think, I don't know, but they said the people's problem is that they think they have time. Well, I like that. But they probably turn it into something like you should live in the moment or enjoy the now or whatever. That's another issue then.
Confirming time again.
Confirming time again,
Yeah.
exactly, absolutely, yeah. Yes.
That's funny, that's in the Buddhistic sutra, there's a saying that time swiftly passes by. And be aware of something is there because opportunity is lost. It's all time.
It's all, yeah, exactly. This wouldn't have anything to do with what we, yeah.
But also when you say it's this, that's also not really something.
Yeah, no, it is this, but it's nothing, yeah, and not something, yeah. This is nothing.
Can you explain words not knowing?
Yeah, well, and not knowing in this context is actually not experiencing.
Oh.
So I remember when I was in spirituality, there was in a personal teaching, there was this idea of not knowing being an experience that's relaxing. If you don't go into stories, then everything is a bit foggy and blurry. But actually not knowing here means not even having the sense of awareness. Not even knowing about one's own existence. Not being there, basically. So it's not that I am here having no idea.
No.
Then these meetings couldn't happen.
Exactly.
There is no one there in the first place.
And same with me.
Yeah, exactly.
And I say,
Yeah, yeah, there is no one. That's why nothing is known, but apparent knowledge can happen. So knowledge also doesn't have to drop.
no, because it's gone.
Because there is no one.
There's no one else, if that's what you can explain. Is there not there anymore?
Yes.
After.
Yes, there just isn't anyone anymore.
Yeah, that's my big problem was that I couldn't.
Yeah, this can't be known.
No, I couldn't.
No, this too isn't something that can be known, really.
It's gone.
Yeah, because gone, exactly. The knower is gone.
You can't.
No,
Even grip.
yeah, no grip. Can't know anything. In that sense.
Even if there's no grip, I don't know if there's no grip, but in my normal life, I do really strange things. And I mean,
I'm getting a bit curious.
if there is a life, but I did probably the same thing before. It's gone. It's very quick gone.
Yeah.
And then it's the same. I know it's the same, but it's very quick. See, even quarrels, everything doing wrong to people in a way.
Yeah, I know.
It's really very quick.
Hmm.
So even I thought it actually very good.
No.
In a way, like,
Yeah, no.
No. So I had a dream about I was killing Trump, I think.
All right. Was it at night or a daydream? Or?
In the night.
Okay.
The nightmare. I'm really ashamed, of course.
Oh. A lot of people might regard you as a hero, actually.
This is my last dream, but it's okay. But the thing is that I thought, oh, good. There's no grip, there's no person, okay, because it's falling apart constantly. And then I still think there's grip. It's a bit strange, chaotic. And then I thought, well, maybe that's it, maybe, because never going better.
Yeah, exactly. It'll never, in that sense,
And
it'll never really change.
Life never will.
There'll never be a breakthrough or it becoming more real. Or no, there's just this appearance that in one way or the other will kind of go on as it always did.
Yeah. And it's more quick.
Yeah.
No, sometimes it isn't.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can't say how it is.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's strange. Is that weird?
Yeah. It's unexpected, yeah, and it seems strange to the person because there were so many expectations about this.
Yeah.
One day it'll be different. One day I'll be different. One day I will think differently. I will feel differently.
I will be better.
And I'll be better. Yeah. There'll be this, breakthrough.
The thing is, the personal thing in it was a kind of personal thing that you want to be better and good and doing be very intelligent and everything like that. You never can get grip on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so awful.
No, it's freedom.
And it's freedom.
It just is like that.
Still.
It just is an empty appearance.
Yeah. and it's no person. There's no real person. Not I'm a person. But then still, I'm very afraid of dying.
You are very
Afraid for dying.
okay.
I'm not, but it's coming up.
Yeah. 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 Why not?
And that's the, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Okay, is that okay?
It's what seems to be happening. So
That is,
doesn't really ask about is it okay or not. It's
no,
happening anyway already.
exactly.
Yeah. 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 Oh, really? If that's what's coming up.
That's for me. And it's not anymore there then. It's,
Both, yeah. It is and it isn't. Yeah.
there's more, isn't?
It's equal, I'd say.
Yeah.
It's just never really. No, it's never really more on one side.
Oh yeah, of course. Because the it is the same as it isn't.
Exactly. They are simultaneously, or they are, yeah. That's why one can't say anything about it. One can't take sides. One can't take the unreal side or the real side. It's just simultaneously real and unreal. Can't be confirmed, can't be denied. Can't be said, oh yeah, there really is fear of dying. But it also can't be, oh, there is no fear of dying. It's both. Thank you.
Interesting. I'm not an expert on spirituality by any means, but this idea about acceptance. The person can't accept everything, can it? Because if it tries to accept everything, it's already saying I shouldn't dislike some stuff.
Yeah, it can't accept everything, and even if it tries to accept moment by moment, it starts off with the sense that it's not good at first.
It needs to be accepted.
Exactly, it needs a path.
Yeah.
It needs me being on a path. And the same thing here, it's actually a quite general idea. It's not an idea that's limited to spirituality. I think the idea of acceptance is kind of a mainstream idea.
No, we all do it, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. It's all because you can't accept how you feel about something. But if I dislike something and I feel
because at first there is this rejection that says that's not it. So I have to do something to make it okay for me again.
Yeah.
And acceptance is a very attractive idea. You can do that with any moment, theoretically.
Yeah. It's always so difficult for me to accept like certain things.
Yeah, but you should accept that, will you?
I wasn't as advanced.
Master's class.
I only
yeah.
got to step 1. I failed. If I could have accepted that I couldn't have accepted it, then I would have been on my path.
Yeah, so in the personal world, there's always something to accept because there's always something that's already rejected.
Always a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you can go on trying to accept for the rest of your life. Of course, I'm consciously hoping that one day I can accept everything instantly.
That's it, yeah. That's the hope.
Mm.
The thing is, I know there's not something separate to what happens accepting it, but it is almost like everything already is allowed, not by something.
Yes, those words don't apply really.
Yeah.
Accepted, allowed, or something. Oh yeah, it already is there. It doesn't need anyone's approval or acceptance. It's so free and so love already. It doesn't need anything saying, "Oh yeah, I accept you." No.
That's a good word, free. Everything already is free, so
Yeah.
yeah. But the person free still sounds like something's moving. To say this is already free feels to me like a moving thing.
Yeah, whatever it feels.
It's free to change and be what it wants or whatever. Like, that's how it sounds to me, but
Yeah, that's how it apparently is.
that is what you mean when you say free. It's not bound to be this.
No, the freedom is that it can be this. But it's also free to apparently change.
Yeah.
It's not all this. Mm.
And that's what the person's most afraid of is change, isn't it?
It depends. If the situation is bad, it longs for change. So, no.
We're threatened by things changing that it can't control.
It's just both. It's potentially threatening, but also potentially desirable. I mean, in the end, it wants constantly change. One could also say it wants to constantly change its experience from unfulfillment to fulfillment. So, in that sense, every new moment also carries a promise. Maybe I can find it here. No? Okay, let's change it. If you think you've already gained a lot of peace and freedom in love, you certainly don't want to have this change.
Better?
Don't know.
Last week in London, Jim was saying, obviously the individual has an idea that the appearance needs to become whatever in order for it to be fulfilled. And he said if there's 50 people in a room, there'll be 50 different ideas of what that is. And I just realised my idea of what this needs to become is for me to be laughing all the time. And I'm never laughing all the time. So it's impossible.
Well, even if you would be laughing all the time, it still wouldn't be fulfilling.
No, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't be able to eat.
No, it just wouldn't be fulfilling.
Yeah. No matter how much the person gains, it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
some people want to just feel very peaceful all the time, or very quiet all the time, or whatever. But
Yeah.
even when circumstances go exactly to plan, there's still that underlying sense then that something isn't done yet.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Please tell me.
I just try to imagine someone who's always laughing.
When I was a child,
There was this episode in The Simpsons. They all won a lot of money, and there was this one guy who operated himself a smile on his face. But then he got kicked out of the company. You could see him smiling, saying, "This is a really bad day."
When I was a child,
Anyway.
when I was a child, I was regularly, well, not regularly, but there was a few times as a child when I had to go to hospital because I couldn't stop laughing, and it made me ill.
So you were almost there.
I just kept laughing so much, I got like a cough that wouldn't stop, and then I got tracheitis, and then I had to go to hospital. It happened a few times.
Mm-hmm.
How did he get that? He wouldn't stop laughing. So yeah,
Was anyone asking what you were laughing about, or
no.
Didn't care about the interesting stuff?
You know, because there's nothing that's held on to about what you're saying. It's just coming out spontaneously for responding to a question.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever the person, in the person's story, whenever there's a realization of something to do with it, that's always then held on to as a position, isn't it?
Yeah. That is the position. This feeling of, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Now I understood something. No, just doesn't happen. The same here. I could say, now I said something really true and helpful. And no, it doesn't happen. It's just.
Even as you say it, there's no truth or validity to it either.
No. As I said, I'm also not making it up. You know, the speaking is total, and the hearing too. But it's also empty and meaningless. Can't be used.
Yeah, in the past I thought I could use it. And when I went to the yoga teacher he's also giving songs. And the next day I had a lot of energy.
A lot of
Energy.
energy. Yeah. Yeah. That's the hope. that one can use life to become fulfilled, or use one's presence, oneself being there to become fulfilled.
About sensitivity, sometimes you can feel a body is ill or someone is going to die.
Yeah,
So that's just what's apparently happening.
that's what seems to be happening. Yeah, yeah.
I really hate Buddhist teachings.
You really
Hate the Buddhist teachings.
hate? Okay,
Yes, I'm very angry about it.
okay. Okay.
It's also empty, of course.
Okay.
So
Mm.
yeah, it was really like you have to do your best more and more and more.
Yeah, it's personal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, apparently.
This whole sense of personal responsibility and all the suffering that can come out of that, like regret and shame and all of that stuff. This is just too out of control. Do you know what I mean? Like the sense that the person has that I did that and I did that and I should have done it differently and blah blah blah. And I've messed up my whole future and blah 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 blah. Just from a small thing like eating too much sugar.
Mm.
Yeah, ruined my entire future.
Really create a drama out of anything.
How many 100 grams of sugar did I eat?
Yeah.
And it's just already completely out of control.
Yeah.
There's no possibility of reining this in.
Yeah.
To get it back into the acceptable range.
Mm.
This is already unacceptable and out of any possible range of anything. There's no possibility of measuring what happens.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
it's
were
an
saying
appearance. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, on the phone on Thursday, one of the things you said to me a few times is the person always looks at what's happening relative to something else, relative to what it could be, or relative to this or that. But there's no possibility of measuring this relative to another happening.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because it's simultaneously the absolute.
What is the attempt to measure it by the person?
No, what seems
this.
to be happening. Yeah, this.
Simultaneously. It means two things happening at the same time.
Yeah, relative and the absolute.
Right, okay.
But this is not only relative, the relative to other moments, to other possibilities.
Right.
It's everything.
Tony used that term to me once on the phone. He says the individual's walking around like a measuring stick, and everything happens, it's measuring it. So do you don't have a measuring, well, there's no you, but that whole idea of measuring everything.
Yeah, there is no one. Yeah.
But it can't be judged or measured in that way.
What would I have even, not even an idea of how would you measure or what? Yeah. Yeah, or judge. Yeah.
And you can't say one word to describe what's happening.
I'm not saying a word. Yep. Yep.
Even calling it freedom is too much, or
Yeah, even living in the narrative that there is something. It's really, there isn't one sentence that I tell myself. There isn't even one truth about what's going on. It's not, it doesn't happen. There is no one.
and the minute this is something, there's always another thing, an opposite.
Yeah, or at least there is someone for whom it seems to be something. Also, those words, this is freedom, this is love, this is, well, there is no one. It's so unnecessary.
And also, the minute this is something, and you said it, there is someone, I'm opposite to what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. That would be kind of the first relativity. I'm relative to what I experience. There's what I experience and me.
I'm not this, I'm not what is.
No, I'm me and I'm separate. Mm.
So what you're saying is there's not a second instance, there's not even a first instance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the idea that there is something only comes out of the person. So there isn't one reality. It's not that it's not that it is in a certain way. In general, it's just this impression already comes from the person that somehow it is in a certain way. Maybe I don't know it, but at least there is something somehow. But it isn't in a certain way. Never.
So this feeling to be someone is in the first place very physical feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, it's energetic somehow. It's hard to describe because it's an illusion. It's a story anyway, but yeah, it somehow feels embodied, physical, as if there really is someone living in the body, having thoughts, feelings. Yeah, it really feels like that. Or it seems to feel like that.
Because during the night in deep sleep, let's say, that there is no awareness of everything from even not awareness of being in body.
Yeah.
And then in the morning, boom, out of nothing.
Exactly. This illusion wakes up. Yeah. Suddenly something seems to separate itself from deep sleep by saying,
switch on and then the body is there.
Exactly, by saying, I'm here now, experiencing all those things, my body, my thoughts, my feelings, the room, my bed. Yeah.
When in the night, when the body sleeps again, it's gone again.
There is no one. Yeah, there's no experience of there being anything at all. There's also no experience of deep sleep. There's just no one there. Yeah. And the only thing that makes this distinction to nothingness is the one who wakes up or who seems to wake up. And then lives in the dream of I am, for the day.
It's well on its own, this feeling. It's well on its own, this physical feeling all these thoughts.
Only, yeah. It'll never really get in touch with something. It's just itself. Also, the illusion to be someone is just itself. And all it does, apparently, is to live in its own world. Yeah.
So it goes in separation, but not a real. Or separation through life, but that's not a real case.
That's the funny thing. Yes, that's what we talk about. Yeah. That this separation never really happens. That even in this impression of, I'm here now, nothing is really born. It's an illusion that seems to be happening, but there never is a self that separated itself. This separation never, ever happens. And what seems to be happening, which is the natural reality, is this illusion. Yeah.
It cannot switch itself back, let's say.
No.
It switches on, it cannot switch itself back.
No. Because it
switching does not happen also.
No, because exactly. One could say because it already isn't what it assumes itself to be, a separate authority, someone who is in charge, someone who has come and who could go away. That's already dreamt. And sorry, it's also impersonal. So I know in some teachings, they have the idea that you should somehow be aware before you wake up in order to prevent yourself from waking up. But there is no one. It just happens. It's just another thing that seems to be happening for no one in the end. It's out of anyone's hands. Yeah.
So it asks to wake up out of a dream that is not really a dream, that does not really exist. Spiritual teaching, they're asking to wake up but there is nothing
To wake up.
No.
Yeah. But again, they just turn a personal experience, which is waking up, into the hope that one day maybe I can really wake up. As if the waking up that already happens wasn't enough. But it has nothing to do with what we talk about.
Silly. Just becoming awake is not enough. The most simple thing.
Exactly. It's not enough.
Not enough. The most simple thing.
Yeah. And the impression is, well, there are many examples, but when I could really wake up one day and I'll be really awake, then it would be same with presence. One day I'll be really present. Because the presence isn't enough.
No. But you can't do it, it's just running.
Exactly, yeah. No. Yeah, there is no one. It's
What can you do? What can you do about awareness anyway?
yeah.
If you are aware of some things of yourself, that's what's happening.
Yes.
Cannot be not aware because you are already.
Yeah.
It is happening.
It's already happening. Absolutely. That's another attempt, by the way, and that's often misunderstood with non-duality, the idea that one should become unaware. No one can escape waking up in the morning. No one can escape a body, not the person. No one can escape a body that's waking up in the morning and apparently being aware. No, it's not about becoming unconscious. That's what alcohol is good for. But no, yeah. So when awareness is happening, that's what seems to be happening. Can't be escaped. And I don't mean the experience to be a me. But I don't mean the experience to be a me, which is also what seems to be happening, but just a body waking up.
Yeah.
That's a natural awareness, could one day say.
A body that seems to belong to the body, which one can't escape from either. So a lot of people try to forget their problems, and surprisingly, next morning they are back again.
Maybe it's a better way to wake up, sort of finding a better way. The ideal waking up for
Yeah.
sort of. Impossible.
Yeah, impossible.
Same as dying,
Yes,
I guess.
same with anything in the end. Yeah.
But it seems to be sort of a, I wanted to say same with getting angry, but there can be, some things are better. I'm not so like the sort of things. But that's the same, I kind of nothing.
Absolutely.
No, same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah. All right, let's have a break. Thank you. Let's have a break.
How long is the break?
Yeah, at least half an hour.
Half an hour?
Which usually becomes 40 minutes then. Hey.
Have your fly. Okay.